I'm 23 ABC's Johana Restrepo. Welcome back to The Trend. I'm joined by Tori Cooper, who's been following the school threat investigations that have transpired in our area in the past couple of weeks following a shooting in Florida that left 17 people dead.
Thank you so much for having me, Joe. I've learned a lot from talking with teachers, parents, students, and district officials.
So can you quickly break down for our viewers what you learned from school officials, teachers, parents about the most recent school threats in our area?
Yes, Joe, just in the last 2 weeks, we've seen 2 school threats, one at Foothill High School and another at McKee Middle School. Both threats were found in student bathrooms. The first threat at Foothill High School was live ammunition found in a bathroom sink. Now the other one also in another bathroom, a message that said, "I'm being bullied, I have bullets, and I'm going to shoot the school up." So obviously this is alarming, but both threats were deemed less credible by law enforcement officials.
So you say less credible. To me, a threat is a threat. So what does less credible mean?
Just like you, a lot of people had the same question. So I did some digging and I spoke to law enforcement officials about how they go about deeming a threat less credible. Now they said there's no cut and dry process. They said part of which is because they consider each threat on a case-by-case basis. Whenever there's a social media threat, they try to track down the profile linked to the person who posted it. They'll go to their house if they can, make contact with that individual, see if they have any access to firearms or registered firearms to them to ensure that they're not a danger to the community. Now the second step that they do look at especially is to see whether or not there's an immediate danger to school students on campus. If they find evidence of a gun on campus, anything along those lines, that they'll up their safety protocol with officers on campus.
So ever since the school shooting in Florida that left 17 people dead, the debate over whether or not teachers should carry guns in class has intensified. Our president even proposing bonuses for teachers or educators who undergo gun training. What have teachers told you about this issue?
Teachers I spoke to said they would take a bullet for their students. They want to protect them, but at the same time, they don't feel comfortable carrying a gun on campus. As you know, Trump is proposing bonuses for teachers with former military background, and a lot of them are on the fence about that. They didn't know if they wanted to add additional weapons on campus when weapons on campus is part of the issue.
Thank you so much for joining me on The Trend today. You know, we talk a lot about gun control and gun violence in schools, and the world now is talking a lot about it. So I really appreciate you coming in and teaching us a little something today.
Well, thank you so much for having me on your show, Joe. I hope that we see more change through conversation.
I also want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Trend. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to send us a message. We'd be happy to answer it however we can. Thank you so much.